Hi there, it's Counting Sheep, and I'm going to play with journals tonight. And the first one was lent to me by Margene, and I love her journal. So I managed to talk her into letting me use it tonight. And you saw this earlier in one of her videos, but it's a woven, I think a woven silk on the cover. It's got this wonderful little bookmark with a button on the end. Looks like maybe wood or bone. And the cover, I'll just play with a little bit here for a bit. It's the funniest thing to me, this response we have with ASMR. And somebody was saying they thought maybe it was related to when we were children and sounds that we would hear that might have been comforting to us when we were all wrapped up as babies. People whispering in our ear and making eye contact and things close to our ear, scratching, rubbing against our ears maybe. Who knows? I do love this journal. This was given to me by my students a couple of years ago, and they each wrote on a page something sweet. And I'm not going to read it, but they're really sweet things. And the pages are so nice. I thought it was just lovely of them. And I'll just play with the blank pages a little bit here. The fabric, it feels like fabric. The paper is just that wonderful homemade, handmade paper. You probably can tell I'm into crafting a lot, and I've never made paper. That was something I always intended to do. I had a sister-in-law, or I have a sister-in-law who makes paper. She made it out of lint from the dryer. I don't know how she did that, but I thought that was a cool way to recycle. So there's this journal. Wonderful, rough, uneven edges. Okay, so that's Margene's journal. And then the next journal I have is just a paper binding, that has some nice doodly swirls on the cover. I didn't make it, but these are great ideas for future coloring books. I like this a lot. And it has the little band on it, and I pressed leaves in this a couple of years ago, so we'll see. It doesn't look like they retained their color very well. So the pages have watermarks on them or crinkles in them. I remember the day I got these. You all know that I'm really into making wreaths and things, and I can remember walking in the woods, and there were aspen trees, and these were such vibrant colors, and different trees and leaves pressed differently. And it may be that I just had these too wet, but they definitely did not retain their color because they were so, I remember the day, they were so vibrant. These are just brown and yellow now. The tips are kind of vibrant, if you can see that. Oops. Maybe I'll play with that on the silk journal at the end. I'll keep a leaf out. Looks like they're all the same kinds of leaves. It's kind of beautiful in its own way, the black leaves. Interesting. So, my little leaf addiction. I always press more than I can use, but I like leaves because I don't feel like I'm killing any plants. And I'm just picking them up off the earth. They've already fallen. All right, so there's my little notebook. And this was a gift from one of my friends when I came to Washington. She sent me away with this, and it's got stickers all through it. There's a little crab, starfish, and I love it. It's just, she just put clippings and little comic strip, or yeah, I guess what you say, little animated cartoons in different pages. So I'll just flip a few pages of that. These nice little cushy stickers. Butterflies. Looks like these are all Irma Bombeck quotes. Okay. It's very sweet of her, I thought, to make this book. This one says, a bunch of friends are coming over to stare at their phones. That is kind of the culture now, although it does seem like people are getting a little more aware. I'm so glad that they started reminding people not to turn on their phones in movie theaters. I'm always embarrassed if I'm with somebody who starts checking their phone in the middle of a movie. Because I had a friend that it was a very big deal to him. He would even comment out loud if people had their phones on. A little owl. I've got on my multicolored nail polish here. You can see it. Got a little playful. I had it on in the last video too. It's a little cupcake. So I'll just maybe flip the pages here. It's kind of fun to have out. People are sitting around, a little conversation book, something to keep them busy if I'm cooking or if they're waiting. Okay. And then I just have one more little journal. And this is my little poetry book. It says, Make Believe. I might have had this in another video, I can't remember. But there's little branches growing from her hair. Kind of a sweet picture. warmer where the shadows didn't cut through too much and my microphone wire didn't cut through, so I'm kind of at an odd angle. I hope this works. So I'll just flip through the pages. I'm not going to read you my poetry. I will spare you that. I read through them just before I made this to decide, and I decided no. A couple of them aren't bad, but you know, you write poetry when you're feeling a little dramatic about things, and not all of them are that way, but some of them are. I'm like, when I was younger, I would write really dramatic poetry, and I'd think it was so amazing. Often we write it at night, yeah, and so I would read it the next day and be like, oh, this is terrible. Just so indulgent. Anyway, but poetry, I think, does help us move emotion, putting words to what we're feeling, and making the power of the words match the power of what we're feeling, I think, is sometimes actually quite therapeutic. So there you go. So I'll play with this scarf a little bit for a minute here. Let's see, do I have the corner in there? I guess not. This is the scarf that my son gave to me that he brought back from India. I've used it before. It has the little, lots of paisleys and then some sequins, some sparkly sequins on it that are kind of fun. And oh yeah, good, you can see that. Some beads over here. Let's see. There's a fun little, oh, that's out of sight. Maybe I can pull that down. There's a little bead here in the corner. Tassel with a little bell at the bottom. Little purple bell. It's kind of cute. So that's my paisley. I've got a little bit of leaf there. My paisley scarf. And my son got me a harmonium for Christmas. You can look those up. They're really cool. And so I'm learning to play it, and I keep this kind of on as a cover on my harmonium because I think it's pretty. Got a little loose bead there. Okay, so I'll just end a little more with this journal because I think it makes the best noises, best sounds, and the leaf. And then I'll say good night. Just keep this one short and sweet. Let's see, but maybe I'll get it where you can actually see it. And I'll try and keep it slow, relaxing. Talk a little bit slower, because that helps you feel a little bit more relaxed. Hopefully, you're drifting off to sleep and having wonderful dreams, relaxing dreams. Just reminding you that in this moment, you're safe and everything's going to be just fine. Have a way of working out. And in the morning, the sun will rise and give you new insight, new energy, new ways of dealing with things. Fresh outlook. Pleasant dreams.